Knicks, two common faces, common occurrences so far.
Are they allowed to eat in the booth?
I was talking about the crowd. The crowd have their snacks, and
Oh.
the players have their heroes. It was kind of something I was going for. It wasn't great.
Oh, I thought you said the players had snacks, like a little juice box, a little
Dude,
pick-me-up.
I think you should totally be allowed that. You know, like a cheeky Skittle when you get a creep kill or something, or any other sweet.
those cheese crackers with peanut butter in the middle.
What's your go-to gaming snack, Pierre?
Ooh, gaming snack.
I'm converted to like nuts, unsalted nuts, cheeky handful of almonds.
Unsalted. Wow, you're so health conscious, man.
That's
you
right.
You could barely walk here.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of salt when I'm playing Dota, so.
Absolutely. I know what that lies about.
Ooh, Ogre Magi.
Solo Ogre Magi.
He's back.
Yeah, this is one of Solo's best heroes. It really just shows how skilled of a player he is.
'Cause
No cover.
I was about to try and go, really? Tell me why.
Yeah, that was a little passive aggressive, but no, Solo's an awesome player.
Sure.
Just Ogre is not a hero that takes a lot of skill to play. Although Solo plays it differently. He walks around with like 3 to 4 salves at a time, and he's just he's a mobile fountain for his teammates.
Maybe a branch.
Yeah, he doesn't need, like Ogre has a ton of base regen. He only needs maybe like a clarity, a branch. I don't know. That seems a little too much.
Yeah.
Maybe a smoke.
Yeah.
Go for a courier or something in the early game. But you just get level 7, you max Bloodlust, and you just buff your teammates the rest of the game.
So is that sense? So is Solo going to be spending the majority of this game just being a bloodlust vendor?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically how VP plays Ogre is usually phased around mid lane. Like they usually play dual lane mid with, they used to do Sniper. I don't know if Sniper is a hero these days, but they always...
Sniper Void.
Sniper, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? We might see a Sniper, who knows?
Sniper's okay versus Coddle, I think.
But Ogre is very good with the Void here. We've been talking about that the Void really lacks damage before, and now he actually gets the Bloodlust, so he gets the extra damage in the Chrono.
Now, I know Jack isn't here, but I have got some kind of Chinese Dota info for you. LGD and all Chinese teams refer to the Ogre Magi as blue fat. That's how it translates.
Blue fat.
So they've drafted blue fat.
I guess we're not doing Jack's Corner for this segment, are we?
I could go for a run, but we saw what happened last time.
We should just bring Jack's Corner back for the non-China games. I think it should be like
I
a
think
staple.
he's fantastic, dude. I'm only there to kind of say go and stop. He's fantastic.
You had your own flavor to it. You did a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's have a look then. Cottle and Nyx.
We haven't seen a lot of Nyx Assassin. It's actually been kind of passed up a little bit more than I thought it would. And
The same question I was thinking.
when it has been picked, it's been doing very well. That was Day 9 is just beside himself about the 80% win rate of Nyx Assassin. He brings it up every single break.
Yeah.
It's been banned as well a lot of games against teams that usually picks him, or if it's teams that wants to pick this puck or cop mid, then they ban the Nyx, so he can't come there to just mana burn them.
Yeah, the level 1 mana burn in mid, acting as like kind of how we'll probably see Solo play this game.
It's actually very smart. It's a way to make yourself useful early on without...
Yeah, that's where Nyx struggles the most, especially as a support. It's, you know, what does he do from levels 1 to 6?
Yeah.
So big question now. We haven't actually talked about the bans too much, but if you look at that most recent ban from LGD, is that just pure respect to Lil?
I
Is that
guess.
Enchantress? Am I making that? Are my eyes deceiving me?
So it could be a little. It's probably a little bit of both, as is most everything in Dota.
Yeah.
A lot of different variables and moving pieces you got to look out for. But what it kind of tells to me is that they might want the Nyx and Coddle to be their support duo.
Okay.
And neither of these heroes can deal with an Enchantress creep roaming into a lane. So you ban out that Ench and you don't have to worry about that, and you can still use these 2 heroes as your supports and pick up your 3 cores with your last 3 picks.
And VP have struck the fear of God into them from the previous.
Have VP played offlane Ench, or was it only EG?
That was, I think it's only EG that has played offlane Ench.
Okay.
That being said, I think they have played it before, just not at this tournament. And I wouldn't put it past them. They're one of the most versatile teams when it comes to hero pool.
By the way, Keeper of the Light is not really picked up much either. It's pretty much only Liquid who plays it, right? And this is pretty interesting that they choose it in first 2. Kind of out of nowhere here.
I mean, we've seen what GH can do with it, right? Okay, I mean, we've seen the impact a Cottle can have. Is it just
can be very
is it a
good,
unique
but
case?
It's more about the team as well, that the team plays very good around it. They let GH get the space as well, because without farm, Coddle is not that good, so...
I like it against Void. It's, you know, blind, especially like Void Ogre. You see, we talk about Bloodlust being, you know, increasing attack speed and allowing teams to do more physical damage. Blinding Light's going to be great for that, because no matter how fast you're attacking, you're going to be missing a bunch with that Blinding Light. And you can also use some elements of split push with Coddle, which is great to avoid team fights and find the right team fights when you're up against a Void who has this Chronosphere, which is a huge team fight.
Void's also a hero that can't really kill creeps that easily. Like he's right-clicking creeps down, whereas Carl just kind of blasts them away. So
yeah, if you can get Void to show in lane, you'll know exactly where he is. You can either gank him or stay away from him.
And I'm sure you've been asked this question 1,000 times, but
wow,
never mind. Change of plan, change of topic. Chen shows his face.
Is that the second Chen pick? I think he was picked once during the group stage and then he lost.
Yeah, definitely.
So a 0% win rate.
VP is a team that's been playing good with Chen before, so...
So you're a Chen player. I'm a much more mediocre Chen player.
I mean, right now, it's kind of the same thing as Eng, like they banned it. They have Colin and then Nyx probably as supports. So then, in that sense, Chen is very good against these heroes.
So I agree. I think Chen is going to have a great laning phase, but picking Chen into Coddle and Earthshaker, that's kind of scary.
I think it's more that you just have to make sure that you don't just push blindly into the tower to make them being able to nuke down the creeps. You have to go around the towers to find pickoffs or kills before.
So Chen works really well with Zanking as well, because we're probably going to see the Chen run to the Zanking, and Zanking is going to kill his Caustic and push in the lane constantly, and they're going to be able to dive and apply a lot of pressure, and they don't really need to help out the Void that much. Maybe Ogre is going to start there, give him a head start against Shaker, and then start running between mid and the safe lane. They're going to collapse.
How would you suggest LGD deal with a lane that's being constantly pushed by Zanking and then having Chen creeps diving?
It's always a bit tricky, I think, but I would suggest you start there with your two supports and you shut down the Zanking so he can't actually push in the lane in the beginning, and then when Chen comes, you start pushing out the wave. Your carry could also be pretty important here, like maybe you want a ranged guy that you can eventually leave alone, maybe a Necrophos again, maybe a Weaver.
Something to stay off the melee creeps.
Kind of, yes. Something that will be hard to kill for the Chen Zanking. And then probably end up having like a true carry from mid lane, like your actual win condition.
Ooh, Leshrac. That's a core Lesh.
That's a maybe Lesh, right? Or is it like a mid Lesh?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think that hero would definitely struggle with the Chen Zanking lane.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be easier for them to protect him mid than it is to protect him in the safe lane because of the Zanking. So,
especially with Nyx kind of floating around mid and backing him up. One thing that I would suggest for LGD is, starting with the supports in the safe lane to help with the Zanking. Coddle can just blast the wave over and over and keep that wave pushed out.
Yeah.
So as long as Zanking is going to get his farm for sure, but you're not at risk of dying to the Chen, and that's like the big weakness in LGD's draft right now is their supports aren't capable of dealing with that Chen creep. So they just need to eliminate any opportunities for Lil to set up those early game ganks. And then as the game progresses and they get levels and they start getting items, I think Chen will start to fall off.
I agree. I also think the issue with Chen in general is that he comes with his creep and then you kind of just run away from that creep and then he sits there.
He takes advantage of that.
He kind of just sits there and he doesn't really achieve anything. He doesn't get any experience. So when he starts attacking a creep, like if he starts farming jungle, then you can contest him, and he's kind of like, he doesn't really have a catch. He's hard to pull off, I think, these days. But
and his ultimate
they're
is
attacking.
like so
they're attacking a hero you know and love. What's happening here? Defend him.
Well, there is a reason why I haven't played it in a long time as well, and I actually love the hero, but I feel he's a bit too weak, and it's mostly because of the ultimate right now as well, that it's been nerfed a lot. So it's 160 or 180 seconds on the first level, 160.
It's really
and then
bad.
it's like too long.
It's
way too long
anymore.
you might not even want to skill it, to be honest. I don't even know if it's worth it.
Probably.
But
so what rounds this out then? What's the cherry on top of this? Well, highly
maybe
debatable
we're gonna see
case?
Sniper actually. I don't think it's that bad.
No one hero. I like it. Sniper up against Troll.
Yeah.
Stay far away. It's pretty good against Leshrac too. That headshot interaction like really messes him up. Those little mini stuns. Or they don't actually stun right now. They just kind of, what are they like? It's like
slow 100% or something.
A dazed effect. Is that what you call it?
They just slow 100%. I think they just
So you can still move. You can still cast. You can't move.
yeah.
Oh, a Venom.
All right.
Or the Venomancer. It's gonna be a right-click Venomancer for sure.
That's also a pretty good pick, I'd say.
I like it. Lots of vision. Leshrac has a, he's pretty immobile, especially when he wants to be running around on top of you with his two AoE ground spells. and he will not be able to do that with Meta Wars.
Guys, I'm hearing vibes from you that you thinking we might be seeing Virtus.pro continue on the main stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Positivity then surrounding Virtus.pro, at least here outside Seattle. It's beautiful. Sun is rising even further into the sky, and we're having a fantastic time here. I don't quite understand how the sun works. Let's go head over to your casters, though, and we'll jump into another game of the Dotes.
Lumi, in game one, our panel didn't believe in the Crystal Maiden, didn't stop VP then. Now they pick Chen. Some questions, some heads being scratched. Will it stop them this time? These guys are the masters of the hero challenge. They seem to win with everything. They did it at the summit. They're busting out not quite different picks every single game, but they're certainly not afraid to pull something out of their back pocket. What do you think, Chet?
It's different heroes, but it's same playstyle. They're going to go at you fast and hard, and I think that's going to be the name of the game, right? Chen, something that the panel touched on is the fact that you could grab a creep and just send it to heroes like Keeper of the Light, Nyx Assassin. What are they going to do when there's a Centaur running at you? Let's not forget that Leshrac mid is going to be Maybe's hero, and he's normally very good on the hero, but what does he do when a Centaur runs behind him in setup gank? I feel like this Chen, even though perhaps it's not the best hero in the current meta, very, very good in this game.
Could be the dream game for 11, though. It's already, 3 melee heroes. You've got the Chen army as well, so Echo Slams aplenty could abound if he can get a good start. We did see an Earthshaker go off yesterday and just dominate from the off lane for XXS, but that was against an Ember Spirit. This time, going to be facing up against a Void and an Ogre, both of whom are a lot better at trading blows with the Shaker early. So unless he gets help, I'm not sure he's going to have that explosive start.
And looks like he's going to get scouted by warding into the enemy jungle as well.
So too will the Donkey. Always a risky business type of game when you're up against Lil and your Courier, though I'm not sure if we'll see him try to snipe it as the Chen, more commonly on some of his other more traditional roaming supports, the melee bruisers.
Forgive me as I talk a little bit about the Somnus or maybe Leshrac. They have played it 3 times in the group stage, 100% win rate on the hero. Here's the thing, they always play it with a save. Twice with the Oracle, 1 time with the Chronosphere on his ally. And the idea is to allow maybe to just go in and just not worry and just dish out as much damage as possible. Always goes for the Bloodstone first to extend his damage and as well as survivability. This game though, not only does he have to deal with an early game Chen roams, but also a ton of burst damage coming out from Virtus.pro. It's definitely one of their comfort heroes. I just don't know whether this is the game to do it.
Yeah, we're going to see the Venomancer plop down in mid. So normally when the Venos run nowadays, it's as a core and as a safe lane core. Probably Artesian EG, the player that most fans are familiar with running the hero, but they're going to mix it up. They're going to put him against the Lash, so it is a 2v2 showdown here, at least early. VP already applying pressure top. They're going to make the move here on the Keeper of the Light, trying to punish him out. He doesn't have the extra moves, but he could be in danger. One more auto attack.
Creeps it up!
They
Not like this.
Yao! Oh, Yao is not going to be happy with them, I'll tell you that, Lumi.
Well, you can talk to your teammates, but the creeps don't respawn well. Back in the mid lane, Venomous Gales flies through against Maybe. He's taking a ton of damage. Very low base armor all around. We're going to work now under the tower, but it's not going to be enough. Deny coming out from Victoria. Still a win here for VP, but not getting the experience from that kill.
Yeah, good save there, but it shows you a weakness of the Lesh. He is extremely squishy. And Nyx did not have a point in the stun. He went for the Mana Burn early just to harass, and as a result, had no way to blunt that VP aggression. So great shot calling, identifying that there was an opening where normally, if a Nyx had saved the skill point or potentially just grabbed the stun, there wouldn't be.
The silver lining out here for LGD is the fact that the Shaker is getting a 1v1 matchup. Like you mentioned, Void is still going to win that matchup, just trades better, but as an offlane Shaker, all you care about is, a couple of last hits.
If not win it, you at least shouldn't lose it as bad as Ember, because you get hit by the Enchant Totem, you can time walk off some of the damage. You're just better at trading in general as well with the bash.
Yep. Notice that he doesn't have a single point in Fissure just yet. Just using Enchant Totem early on just gives you so much more of an edge. If it's a true 1v1, then you could just kind of last it and deny.
Well, they'll need him to come up big because the rest of the lanes are struggling. The first blood happening early top. Ame, only 6-2 here, not exactly farming up a storm. So at the same time, Ramsey's not doing particularly well, but of course Ame is getting help, whereas at least for now, looks like Ramses has lost his. VP are just going to stick in the 2v2 setup top. Wondering if the Chen is going to make a move at some point. Like, do you see Lil leaving this top lane, or do you just keep on constantly pressuring the Keeper of the Light early?
If he's leaving the top lane, he's probably going to go mid for a gank. But I think if he's calling a place home, it's probably going to be the top lane for now. You have a very easy camp to access any big creeps you might need, and you're putting a ton of pressure on this Troll Warlord as well as the Keeper of the Light.
Trading the experience, at least for now, with Pasha, not farming the jungle, just constantly parked and showing himself top. Seems they're content with slowing Ame down, as opposed to worrying too much about trying to get the kills. No one continues to hold mid, already 17 CS for him, and now we will see the move. Solo's gonna, at least initially, rotate off of the lane, perhaps considers a different setup here. 11 might be the hero that he looks to zone out. Now the Earthshaker could be in trouble as Solo comes in. He's going to start things off with the Ignite. They use the stun. If they get a single bash, 11 actually no TP. They don't need to hold any stuns. They might be able to kill him off here. The Time Walk's still on cooldown for 5 seconds time. He does have the boots advantage and rings around the trees. Not often you see a Shaker get away, but somehow the Stretch Armstrong stun. Time walking forward, they're going to need that bash to get this kill. 11 keeps on juking, but Ramsey's cutting him off.
The bash!
Finally gets it and drills him. Did not think he would be in range there for the Fire Blast, but just barely clipped him.
I wonder if he would have survived if he just walked straight home, Like he did do quite a bit of jukes in the jungle, although...
I think probably, yeah.
I mean, Ramsey was doing a very excellent job, body blocking as he's hitting, walking in front of him, so it would have been tough either way. Good gank here from Solo, and he takes away the rune as well, so very good.
Hasterin grabbed, and something you touched on, these melee bruisers, generally the main hero's snagging runes, and Solo has been doing that. Grabs the haste, he's grabbed 2 bounties, also finding the kills. He got a double damage rune earlier, so constantly pressuring them is...
Oh, they're going to gank Lil in the jungle.
Taking over this LGD jungle, but it might be an overextension by him. The double stun comes through. Lil does not have a TP scroll either, so maybe running him down. The Edict works its magic, and LGD get back on the board, finally getting a kill here and trying to turn these lanes around.
Very good ward to actually scout out the rotations of your jungle. Normally you don't put this, the other one, deeper into the jungle. Because, Chen is going to be taking that path a lot of times, and you're actually going to be able to pick up a kill. So earlier you were comparing the Venomancer to something that, EG has been playing a lot, but the mid-Veno builds it quite differently. Maxes the Gale here as you fire off, and there's just so much harass coming in. But looks like the harass will get turned the other direction as the Nyx Assassin rotates in.
Yeah, not a single point in the Plague Wards yet.
Yep. This is a kill build, you go Gale, you get your ult at 6, and then once you land the Gale, you're just going to get a kill. So much right-click damage with the Poison Sting as well. But immediate smoke from LGD from the mid lane after shrining up, I think they're baiting them in, or perhaps just a bad smoke, it seems.
Looks like no one is rushing the Midas here. Already grabbed the Gloves of Haste, so wants to play a bit more of a proper carry Veno. Is, as you mentioned, really just trying to be the big damage dealer through his hero in these upcoming fights. So LGD sensing something's not right. Yao is going to TP out. Pasha was hunting for him, but evades the Scorpion, gets away to safety. Meanwhile, a lot of key ultimates about to come online. Echo Slam very close for 11. We see Ramses now acquiring the Chronosphere. The chase is on top as VP dive behind the tower. The double Big Bird strat goes in. Ame getting burrowed initially, but the tornadoes are on cooldown, and now the turnaround comes. They want to catch him out, but Pasha somehow jukes the stun. They're going to need a batch here, and they do get it at the buzzer. Ame securing the kill.
Meanwhile, as we saw on the big screen, Chronosphere permitted for the Earthshaker kill. Trying to defend himself, but still not level 6 just yet, and Shaker also goes down. So fairly similar start for VP as game 1. Might not be getting as much out of the lane stage, but LGD definitely very far behind right now.
So interesting choice by Lil here. One thing that we have seen with a lot of the recent Chen picks is 11 goes in on Ramses, keeps on hitting him with the totem. The fissure comes out. He's just not got to level 6 yet. Otherwise, I think that's actually a kill, but just a bit preemptive with the initiation. But yeah, the Chen is going Midas as well. So, where the Chen picks in theory fall off a little bit, or even a lot later on, Lil is going to try to stay relevant. And some of the recent buffs this hero has gotten, you could talk about them more. A lot of them are around his late game.
Yeah.
Especially with the talents.
Well, we're going to see an initiation going on maybe on the mid lane here. They will miss, and as a result, Somnus is going to die. He's going to try to take down no one with him, but not enough damage.
Victoria wrapping around. He sees 2 low HP heroes. Solo gets out as well. nobody dying. They just need that bit of follow-up. Love to see 11 there, but sadly his...
Mid lane Gale happening again. Victorious pops a spike and just needs to TP out. This mid Veno is so threatening whenever he just lands a Gale on you.
Forcing him out of the lane. Meanwhile, Pasha up top does get hit by the axes. Ame looking for the bash, still not getting it. Will he continue pursuit on Pasha? Does burrow away to safety as Ramses worms his way through the trees. The Echo Slam finally online, and they do bring Maybe down for this. No Radiant Vision of this rotation, but Ramses senses something's not right. Time walks back to safety. He should be out of there. They'll steal a small collection of creeps. But so meanwhile, VP are making their own move as they smoke up. The Chen is going to join here with the Ogre. They're going to look to make this committed dive into the enemy woods.
Oh, they're going to see this Troll Warlord farming in the woods.
Ame in danger, perhaps. The whirling melee axes are on cooldown. He might need that bit of evasion here to get out safely, and now getting slowed down, taking some decent nuke damage, gets the axes off again, but won't make it up to the high ground. Lil nukes him down.
Can they catch anyone on the way back? Fissure trying to block people off. They just went for some Chen creeps. Don't feel like they kill any hero.
LGD are just feeling very immobile right now.
Yep.
They seem a bit slow to react. They're, with the Veno Gale coming out, often heroes can't get away. Meanwhile, VP, while they have some clunky heroes on paper, are making them feel rather nimble in practice.
Gale hits on the mid lane again, and Maybe just uses a very defensive stun to just get the Veno off of him.
He's going to be losing these raindrops soon.
Yeah.
Now the rotation comes in. VP looking for the flank.
They just don't stop.
Like they're bringing 2 cores to the mid lane, and the ward gets dropped out. That is going to cancel the salve, and now, while Ame wants to chase no one, they're looking to cinch the news from the rear.
It's coming.
Solo's coming in with the help of the creep army. Going to connect here. Maybe he tries to juke, but they get off the slow. Now the follow-up clap can come through, potentially. Stays out, just out of range. Hadouken!
Okay, Raindrop does block it.
Does block it. Needs to get to the shrine quickly. There's going to be another one cooling down in a few seconds, but Lumi, they had 2 cores sitting mid during that time just to try and dodge the gank. They bring 11 towards top. LGD are just all over the place with these lanes, and they are getting punished for it in terms of farm.
Yeah, LGD just feels like a plumber in a bad pipe in the bathroom. Just like there's so many leaks, and they're just going everywhere to put out flames, and it's just not working.
What kind of plumbing experiences have you had?
I'm a bad plumber.
You're seriously bad if you've got flames coming out everywhere. I don't think it's quite that bad for LGD yet, but it might get there at this rate.
Maybe he does have a haste rune. He definitely wants to get a solo kill, but the spidey senses of no one, he dodges away. Now the conversation after the game 1 was that, from the panel was that, you know, they need to play faster. LGD does. Do you think they have adapted?
It definitely hasn't worked out that way in practice. I don't think Keeper of the Light is that type of hero, but mid lane, Victoria looking to finally set up something, and they will get this key Veno kill, taking him down mid. Went for that Midas, so a bit squishier than Veno might be at this stage, and does get punished for it, but that said, he has already started using the Midas. The Chen Midas about to be picked up here as well, so even if VP are giving up deaths here and there, could still find some openings. As Yao lurks behind the tower, they're trying to farm up 11's Blink Dagger. It's a critical juncture for LGD. Close to the Blink, tons of AoE parked behind this tower. Do VP dare commit? Solo's gonna wrap around it into the waiting arms of Yao, who's revving up the blast and following that through with the Enchant Totem. He finishes it emphatically with a dunk.
Good vision. They had this ward, and they just, you know, saw the Ogre Magi walking up on his own, and was able to pick up the kill. Very nicely done.
How much pressure do you feel LGD are under, Lumi? There is a double Midas already completed.
Yeah, for sure. A ton of pressure to answer your question. And, you know, they can't really get out of the map as easily because there are Chen creeps everywhere. Venom wards are scouting out ganks left and right. And you can make the argument that Virtus Pro are scaling better to the late game as well, especially with that double Midas. That double Midas, especially with Venomancer's level 10 plus 30% experience talent, is going to put him to level 25 so very quickly. Ame forced to TP out. Burst Strike will be here on time.
Hesitated for just a second. He gets the bash, but not enough damage pumped out there. Pasha scoring the kill in his own blink. Only 700 gold off. They are going to send Victoria roaming this way. Perhaps he can find no one who's trying to farm up from the safety of the high ground, but maybe looks to close the gap. It's another Victoria special coming in with the help of the Pulse Nova. They score the kill. Desperately needed momentum here from LGD. All of it coming from the Victoria engine.
Yeah, you know, Day9 has been really on the case of the, what is it, 80% win rate on Nyx Assassin.
It was like, yeah, 79.8
Yeah.
something.
And this is a game where we're seeing why he's actually doing so well. Think of a level 4, or sorry, a 4 position Sanking.
Ramses, he's been scouted out here. The blink's available. No
Can he
Echo
get
Slam on
auto?
11.
Yeah.
I'm just going to retreat.
So comparing it to a 4 position Sanking to a 4 position Nyx, right? Even if you have a good laning stage with a Sanking, you still need to farm for that blink dagger. And that makes you just off the map for like, 5-6 minutes, doing nothing for your team. But the difference is here, Nyx Assassin, as soon as he turns 6, he just gets to walk around the map and start setting up kills. And as they say that here, Victoria invised up again. He's just waiting for 9posh to walk away from the tower vision.
Can just look to carapace one of those caustic hits, potentially get this kill. So Pasha lurks back at the tower, suspicious that something is not right because Leshrac has died enough that if he's sitting there, he likely does have
Yeah,
health.
there's no way that...
By the way, this ward
Yeah.
that LGD have top has been instrumental in stemming the bleeding. It has scouted at least 4 or 5 VP movements stop.
That's what gave them the Ogre kill earlier. They saw the Ogre walking around.
It just dodged the Void gank initially. It's since dodged any sort of follow-up sticking around. Solo kind of rambled up that way. Lil was doing the same. That ward right now is the 6th man for LGD.
Right. I mean, you normally don't ward there as a Dire. It's such a defensive ward, but in this game, LGD knows that they're running at you non-stop. And that ward is probably one of the best in business to kind of stay alive. And again, Victoria, as soon as that Invis is ready to go, he's going to probably pop it and just be on the map again. Smoke gang coming out this time here from LGD.
It's maybe again. They just keep on trying to punish the Leshrac. Constantly being pursued in the mid lane. And Chrono's there with the help of the double damage, and Ramses can probably do the solo. Gale coming through. Poison Nova committed 11 there, looking for the trade, but Ramses just walks it off. Now Victoria rumbling in, wants to get onto no one here. They're going to need a stun. He connects on one, but Lil looking to salvage this fight. Followed from Pasha as they engage forward. Ame going to go down. It's just one to the next here. Ramses jumping in. He is not going to be pushed away by a simple carapace. Now Solo giving a bit of clubbing action. 11 though, backing away, still has the Echo Slam. He's already used the blink defensively, and then the bash comes through. The fissure from low ground. Dodges away. Ramses pulling out the jukes, breaking ankles as he time walks over the Nyx stun, scores the kill. They just never had that crucial opening for 11 to turn the fight, Lumi. Too chaotic, too much of 3v1, 2v1, 1v1 type engagements. He just couldn't find a good Echo Slam.
Yeah, Shaker is really good as a hero when the slows are, when the fights, are slow and methodical. And this is the opposite of that. It's just VP running at you. You don't have time to set up. And one of the conversations that the panel was also having is that Keeper of the Light is a hero that needs a little bit of time and a lot of farm to come online. Yao is getting no room to get that farm. Moving forward, this bathroom is really looking like it's on fire.
It's on fire. There's leaks everywhere.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for LGD right now.
What is the strategy at this point for LGD? Like, how do you see their overall game plan? Are they a 5-man pushing lineup? Are they a turtle farm lineup? Are they trying to sneak a Roshan? Like, what are some of the key points as far as how they get back in the game strategy-wise? They're not actually down really at all in the net worth department, but it does feel like all the momentum is VPs right now.
Right, they're not down like economically wise right now, but double Midas is one thing. The heroes that scale so well on Virtus Pro is another. But to answer your question, LGD, they are definitely a slowdown and farm. Dodge ganks, get off pickoffs on your own with your Shaker as well as Nyx Assassin. Get that Bloodstone online on the Leshrac. Leshrac with the Bloodstone, once you get going, you get a ton of kills. He can be a big factor in these kind of mid and late game team fights.
Better to have the deaths now before the Bloodstone comes out, and maybe...
That's one way to think of it.
It's close.
Yeah.
Now that said, Leshrac is not the escape artist that many other Bloodstone carriers are, like Storm Spirit, for example.
Right, but and here's the thing, it's something I brought up earlier, and what we just witnessed in the last fight,
right.
that no save. No Oracle in this lineup, as we do see the initiation into the jungle. Nyx Assassin does get off the nice spike against 3, but will go down. And that invites the push on the mid lane. The tower is going to get killed pretty easily.
Low on mana here on Ramses, though, so doesn't seem to matter. He is unfazed as he muscles down the tier 1 mid.
Yep.
The Midas is slowly kicking in for VP. More so in experience than in gold, at least for now, but still waiting to see when that next offensive will come from LGD. They just constantly seem to be reacting to VP's movements, warding defensively, getting ganked under their towers, just biding their time as finally we'll see some recall action here.
I like this.
Yeah, can bring in 11, and this could be an opening.
Yeah, Blink Echo Slam to start the fight, but
Pasha would be a big kill. He shows himself with Sandstorm. Could be the opening. 11 lunging in.
Oh, the hesitation. 011 didn't want to use his Echo Slam, but
I think he wanted to go for the fissure, like the enchant totem fissure kill.
Right.
And save the Echo for a follow-up.
This is no time to save, man.
Greed or hesitation, whatever it was.
Yeah, just
awesome
go.
There.
Well, easy for us to say, but maybe he felt like he needed to take the risk. I do want to point out the nice bit of synergy here. The panel does mention, you know, the Bloodlust helping the faces Void quite a bit early on. Just with simply the Mask of Madness as well as Bloodlust, he fights really, really well. And Chen has also gotten a Frost Ogre creep. Could put the Frost armor to take away the disadvantage of that Mask of Madness as well. He becomes a kind of a pretty sick carry at this point, just with the help of his allies. Pretty nice.
This siege is risky business for LGD. There is so much counter initiation available for VP. Pasha lurking in the trees with the blink, Epicenter at the ready, not to mention the Void that you talked about, and the potential bonus damage he could bring to bear. So we will see LGD get nervous, they back away. Pasha being off the map is doing wonders for VP this game in terms of scaring the bejesus out of LGD.
So Chen is close to finishing that Aghanim Scepter really, really soon. I didn't think we were going to see an Ags Chen at TI, but
we're going to see a lot more than that at this rate.
We're going to see, you know, big creeps being dominated. What's your favorite one here that you think will help out VP?
I mean, the plus HP is always huge.
Yeah, plus HP is great.
From the Rock Golem.
I wonder if we're going to see some of the newer ones.
What's your personal favorite?
Oh, I like my Black Dragon. You know, you gotta rain a fire over kid.
Setting up on the bottom lane, they want to make the go on Pasha at the same time that Lil is trying to TP out. He gets caught. The Sand King might die as well. Very low, 11. Not quite able to finish him off, and did commit the Echo for that.
Yep. I'm not sure whether they changed Sun Echo into Illuminate into Fissure. If you had all of that, it should be a kill, but I did not see how that fight broke out.
I believe he interrupted a little bit with the Burrow Strike away, but in any case, not able to finish him off. Good news for LGD, though. They get that first Bloodstone charge for Maybe, and now Maybe can take this tier 1 down as well. But the TP reaction coming in from Pasha. Wants to try and hold the line here.
Is he going to let that channel Epicenter?
Thinking about it. Don't think he can solo kill Maybe, though, at 1800 health. He'll certainly need backup as VP start to posture near the Roshan pit. TP coming in to the south side from that Void, and no one gets scouted out here. Actually, Victoria as well. He is forced to carapace the push away from 11.
Chronosphere.
Long forward. He catches out 2. They need the follow-up damage. Bring in the Poison Nova. It will start quickly bringing down the Nyx Assassin. Tries for the stun. Down he goes. Decisive play from Ramses there. VP grab 2.
Ramses has a double damage rune. That really made short work of 2 heroes with a Chrono. Very nicely done. Just before that kill, I was going to say, look, this is exactly the pacing LGD wants to have. You know, just a very slow game. You set up a gank with a Shaker, you set up another with a Nyx, and then you just let your Bloodstone Leshrac to be there to soak up all of those kills. But VP answers back very quickly. And we are getting to a point where all of these kind of farming items that VP has purchased is about to, you know, sink in. The Ramses Lincolns is about to be finished, so he will really start to hit hard and start to build damage without worry. The Midas has been running for a long time now. Hurricane Pike being finished on no one. And of course the Aghanim Scepter I talked about on Chen is very, very close to being finished. I think VP will give it 5 more minutes or so, and then the pressure is back on.
Yeah, they're definitely going to hit a huge power spike with that round of items that you talked about. And LGD try to prevent them from getting to that point. They move in with 11, Echo Slam in 1 second. They break the smoke. They find Ramses to start the fight. Huge takedown if they can get it. Get pushed away, but
what a force
comes Pasha! Almost finishes off 3. Ends up dying, but will bail out his Faceless Voice. Victoria's low. Brought down. So much poison damage. Also, Maybe now getting caught out. They finally commit the Echo.
Force Staff again!
Force Staff Gaming pulls them out again. LGD have to run.
No one playing out of his mind. That initial Force Staff was his, pushing the Void away from a certain depth. That was a perfect chain stun coming out from LGD. I think Victoria perhaps hesitated just a slight second, and again, got just punished for it. The secondary Force Staff, just as good.
God, that Epicenter was huge as well. Breaks up the chain of initiation, triple hero stun, then they get the Venomancer, damage ticking in the whole while, and nobody can fight at that point. Like, once VP just drop that stuff. Lumi, that was a fight without Poison Nova, a fight without Chronosphere, and I would say VP still won that fight.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to watch it one more time. The smoke breaks from, and then they react so quickly. Venomancer pushes them away. Look at the hesitation on Nyx, and then the Sand King comes in. Good thing, I guess, silver lining here is that the Leshrac did die relatively early into the fight, giving the rest of the team a big heal with his Glusto. Meanwhile, in the woods here, Solo driving Ya away as a Roshan. Gonna get claimed here by Virtus Pro.
VP, the numbers might say they're only slightly ahead, but the momentum has been consistently theirs. At 23 minutes, towers are falling. They went for the greedy double Midas. They've made it work for them as they first ensured that they were winning these lanes before they grabbed it, and now their team fight just continues to ramp up heading later into the game. Lil has his Aghanim Scepter online, so those bigger creeps are available to buff up the army, to buff up the 5-man. You've got the Bloodlust.
Sand King links in mid lane, Burrow Strike. They get the Venom on the back line. 11 in a lot of trouble. No Force Staff to get him out of there. He's going to spend his go. He thinks he'll die. He's going to farm a little bit more. Buys a recipe before he dies. All right, not too bad here for Shaker.
You say not too bad, I say another death.
Oh.
LGD constantly on the back foot, and Ramsey's looking for more. Here come the bashes. There goes the kill. Again, VP, every gank is a success. Now they TP in Ramsey's bottom. With the Aegis, he's unafraid, and they can't even take this tower. 3 heroes from VP marshalling the defense. Victoria will grab a bounty run. He's stalking Pasha, but doesn't really seem like he wants to go for a kill. And who do you go on as an Nyx? Lil's got an Aghanim Scepter. The Ogre's naturally extremely tanky. There's just not any easy pickoffs at this stage, Lumi.
I don't think there are pickoffs anymore because the way that VP is going to play now is the Chen game. We're going to group up and send 5 at you. Nyx Assassin, very good when you're kind of finding 1 or 2 in the jungle. You set up a gank for your team, but that is not the playstyle that Virtus Pro will have for the remainder of the game.
So with this Aegis, if you're in VP's shoes, any sense of urgency, any particular objectives that your eyes are on?
You wait for your Chronosphere to be back online. You either go for a smoke or a frontal push. Either way is fine. I think Virtus Pro is ahead enough where they can do a frontal push and LGD cannot repel. Of course, if you just get a smoke gank and it works, that would also be great.
Big opportunity for LGD. They actually wait. They let VP get back to their tower. They see Ramses. They know what's behind him, or at least have an idea of it. They're looking for this flank, but they've been hesitant this game. We saw it earlier with 11 not dropping the Echo immediately. We're even seeing it now where they try to find that perfect opening, and well, they do. Chen going down early in the fight, but at the same time, a 3-hero burrow. Pasha can come back with the Epi into the Chrono. Still 30 seconds though, so Ramses won't have it yet. Gets the bashes, scores the kill, Shaker down. LGD now on the run, and this is where things can get ugly as Pasha continues to try to find that opening. Still waiting, gets the burrow, that's 2, about to be a 3rd, the bashes come through. VP routing LGD. Indecision is the name of the game for them.
They have to be decisive. They have to see the Void. They have to go in and kill the Void. There's just no other way. This Void is dealing so much damage. And it's hard. It's hard.
He has an Aegis.
Yeah, he has an Aegis. He has the Chen Hand of God. He has defensive Force Staff on his team. There's so many saves on the side of Virtus Pro. And unfortunately, LGD can't say the same for their own heroes. And it's like you mentioned earlier, you know, it's 1K goal lead, 2K goal lead, but to me this game is, for LGD, they're so far behind.
It's rapidly getting out of hand. And then you just look at some of the matchups heading later. Like, we'll take another look at this fight first, see how it unfolded, where they committed everything for a Chen, got caught by a quick 3-hero burrow, second time that Pasha has managed to counter-initiate and interrupt LGD. Again, they're fighting in between a Shrine and a Tier 2. And a Tier 1 in the mid lane. So there's so many ways for VP to cut them off and rejoin this fight, even if they weren't already in position. And you can just see the patience of Pasha, waiting not just for that first kill or the second kill, but looking for the follow-ups as well. But back to the action where Victoria is in the back lines as they have caught out Old 11 in the trees. Pasha pursuing him out. The Shaker's in danger.
Oh, he's gone.
Tries to make it away, but where are you going? Where are you going, my friend? Echo Slam available. The burrow comes through. They're kiting him. They control him nicely, and they score another kill. And now Triceratops coming into play as the Ancient Thunderhides also join the squad. VP on the warpath. No signs of a slowdown.
Yeah, they're going to group up and look to finish the game. What is your defense, LGD? Shaker dead for 30 seconds, does have Echo Slam, but 30 seconds with this Void hitting your buildings, Burrow Strike coming through on the backline. They see Yao, Yao's gone.
This Void is massive with not only the Mask of Madness, the Bloodlust, he's also got the Frenzy from the Ancient Thunderhides, making him hit like a truck right now as he chews through the Melee Rex. It feels like Ramses is already into the late game. How can LGD answer? Their base is crumbling. VP take one lane. They're looking for the
They
second.
can go mid. Are they going to give them the respect to the Shaker?
Back away here. Will Victoria try to pursue? It looks like they get out safely, at least for now. As a team, they stagger back.
Oh, they see maybe.
Looking for the flank, gets caught out. He's forced to throw that Yule's out defensively.
Blink. No.
Decent stuff from the Knicks. They need the Echo Slam, though. They need the Shaker, and he's in the base. Why is maybe out so far? LGD are not playing as a team. It's what got them to this point. But it won't get them any further because they're dying one by one. Now 11's turn. Caught out by Ramses. Getting pummeled by the Hammerhead Sharkman and chases forward on the Yao. They keep on spamming the chat wheel, charging after buildings. VP, head full of steam. Second lane of Brax is theirs. The series is theirs. They have slain LGD.
They made it look easy. This time, you know, they got off the fast start as they always do, and then scaled it back. Patience with double Midas. And then as soon as they got enough items for that push, the game was over.
I think as we look at VP and where they might go in this tournament, Lumi, we can't question their drafts anymore. They made the Crystal Maiden work, they made the Chen work, and they didn't just happen to win with those heroes. Those heroes were integral in the strategy in both games.
Now before we give too much credit to Virtus Pro, I felt like LGD didn't respond well. You know, Pano says we need to speed up the game, we need to make sure that we don't get run over, but they just got ran over.
They absolutely did. We'll see the team shaking hands here now. So, of course, LGD not out of it yet. They're going to drop down to the lower bracket. And they'll have a shot in the BO3s there, but VP feeling it now. They've definitely had a strong cheering section behind the Russian commentators. And I have to say, Palat, he was on his feet. He was really excited for that performance. So, VP now, the last Western hope in the upper bracket, but still tons of stiff competition ahead. And LFY perhaps will have a shot to avenge their brothers from LGD.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Western hope. This is supposed to be the odd year where you know, a Western Dota team is going to win TI, but right now, 3 teams from China in the upper bracket. How do you feel about the chances of West versus East?
I mean, I think all of these teams have their own unique styles and way of playing. I mean, for me, LFY has really excelled because of InFlames, the way he stepped up, as well as their creativity with their picks. Like they are playing extremely well in the teamwork department. I think you look at Newbie, they have a much more clearly defined style where they like to go for 5-man. You can see all smiles, all giggles as they regroup with the manager.
Yeah. Guaranteed top 6 for Virtus Pro.
Guaranteed top 6, guaranteed $1 million in the bank. What a fantastic performance. So how do you rate VP now? We've seen all the upper bracket matches. Are they the top team coming into those final 4 in the top half?
I think they're the most dangerous team. They're very unpredictable when it comes to the draft. They don't make a lot of mistakes. You know, there were some instances where they died behind a tower. It's like, oh, this is the OCIS. But the OCIS, you know, they make mistakes under the tower and then they throw away their lead, but they don't make any mistakes. They go in under a tower, they kill you under a tower, and they just make you look silly.
And then they calmly begin to take their next objective. Yeah. You know, like as much as the stereotype for CIS Dota, a little bit for Southeast Asian Dota historically was, oh, they just like to run at you too much, overextend. VP, they were patient, they were polished. The draft might have looked a little crazy, but they had a game plan, and they make it work. And now to break it down further, it's back to our panel.
Thank you, gentlemen. I mean, VP played amazingly as a team. And in fact, we were all watching together and had to hurriedly run out here because at the end, I mean, LGD almost seemed disorganized and scattered.
That was a quick 2-0.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive games from VP.
And of course, I'd like to welcome our brand new panelist up here. Pai Lai Dai, how's it going, man?
It's all right. Got knocked out, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, what in your eyes was the big highlight of the series between VP and LGD?
I didn't quite catch the first game, but, you know, I looked at the drafts for the second game, and I was like, whoa, I don't know what, like this VP draft, what is this supposed to do? Then pop like 3 smokes in 10 minutes, keep running at them. It doesn't like even work out. I like look away for 5 minutes, and then I'm running out here.
Yeah, no, I remember, like, you know, you came in, and of course, everyone has to get made up, you know, before we wind up coming out. So doing makeup, and every time you looked away, literally, there was like huge chronos, huge pickoffs. I mean, Ramses was just beautiful on that faceless Void. I mean, PieCat, also welcome. It's the first time we get to panel together. We were enjoying the games on the couch.
We were. It was an interesting game. It looked for a moment like LGD had a good chance. They were kind of getting some farm on a lot of heroes. The Shaker had a good start, but then they never really got the jump that they needed. The Shaker, he had a good start, but he didn't really manage to do anything with it, and they kept losing fights because of that.
Who had the Force Staff that just kept doing the insane clutch forces?
I don't know. I think they had a couple Force Staffs.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
there's a Hurricane Pike on the Venomancer, and then there was also a Force Staff on the Sand King. And we saw near the Radiant Ancients, we saw Sand King really pulling out the Void. And they just kept keeping Ramsey alive, and then he would time leap away and get all his HP back. And they really wanted to kill him, but he couldn't. And that's another win for one position Void, seeming to be picking up some popularity.
Yeah, position 1 Void, hard carry Void, has been increasingly popular in this event. It's been really exciting to see him shine. And of course, to break down in more in-depth analysis, we have good old Coach Purge, man. Let us know what's up, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Going to look a little bit about what VP ended up doing with this game. Now, when we saw the end of the draft, it looked very heavily like they were going to be going with mostly push level stuff because of the Veno pick. They had Veno, they had Chen, they had Faces Void for some teamfight and Ogre Magi to Amp, but it made things look a little bit weird. But if we take a look at how their lanes matched up, it was very much about these 2v2 lanes that produced less than ideal results out of LGD's heroes. The only hero that they really let get a lot was really just Earthshaker down here versus the Faces Void, and as we saw, he didn't really have the best game both of the two games, so maybe they undervalue his performance a bit. But if we take a look at what Chen ended up accomplishing, started off, got a Dark Troll Warlord, he turned that almost instantly into a kill in the offlane. Slightly lucky on the Coddle kill, but VP's goal here was let's limit what the Coddle can do to zone the Sand King. And Coddle is very good at pressuring offlane heroes, but he's very poor at being pressured himself. He's fast, but his survivability is low. So that kind of pressure was really helpful in the offlane. And later, just sending Tornado creeps in the safe lane, the Troll Warlord is forced to be other places. And even though Lil did end up dying here, it still forces the mid hero to come over, the other support to do something. And even in the meantime, the Troll Warlord just didn't have very good farm. Their other dual lane was the Ogre Magi plus the Venomancer one. I thought the really interesting thing about this wasn't necessarily the level 1 portion. This was 1 minute into the game where they were forced to deny him. They pressured him very well, but the interesting thing was the skills, I believe, that no one ended up going for a max Gale build. Now, normally Venomancer is going to grab a lot of wards, and he does that to make sure that he gets lots of last hits, denies, things like that, is able to zone his opponent, push the lane. But by going for Gale, with 3 points here, he does 425 magic damage, which is way above a normal nuke. Level 4 does, I believe, 600 magic damage, which is amazing. So pretty much any time that he Gales somebody, they're going to have to leave the lane, and that's the best way to guarantee last hits sometimes over something like poison attack. So it really felt like VP grabbed these dual lanes that really shut down what LGD wanted to do, and it pushed them into this pretty good place with the Midases that allowed them to abuse their teamfight advantage.
It was really cool, especially to see the use of Chen. I mean, you've talked so much about how Chen can do awesome level 1 ganks. It was a real treat to see it in this game. And also Midas on Chen, keeping him relevant as the game continued to go on. I mean, I want to ask you, PPD, because I know you don't like Troll Warlord. I know you're not a fan. Do you feel like this game sort of highlights some of his weaknesses?
I don't think he's the greatest laner, especially up against that Sand King. He could present some problems. Troll really wants to get in there and CS as a melee. Most times, but the biggest thing for me was like the Chen and actually finding usefulness in the offlane, getting that kill on the Coddle and enabling him to have presence in the offlane. I felt like LGD should have been more prepared for that rotation, maybe smoking at level 0 and placing a ward somewhere just to keep track of the Chen and see what's going on, because that was the only way for Lil to get into that game, and they allowed him to do that.
I mean, incredible coordination from Team VP. They will be, of course, as we said before, advancing on to the winners' semifinals. They're in top 6. And to talk a little bit to VP, we got Casey.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we've got Lil. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You guys came out decisively in both games, and you seem to play best as a team when you're able to be confident and bold. Why do you think that played especially well against LGD today?
I think because we made some decisions after group stage, and we talked a lot with each other. And now we know what are our weak sides, and we fixed them. And now we're very confident in ourselves, and we can play VP Dota.
You came out of a really strong group, Group B, dominating on the main stage, coming out of group, but LFY did best you 2-0, so in the group stage that is. So do you think you need to change your style of play when you get ready to face them, or is it the kind of thing where you're on a roll now, let's just keep doing what we're doing?
Yeah, I think we should just keep doing what we are doing because it works.
Why is it so fun for you to play in that fashion? Because it's obvious you get a kick out of it, out of picking heroes that really enable you to be aggressive and bold.
I don't know. it just works. Like we are playing very aggressive Dota, and Chinese teams can't play with that because they are playing slowly, and that's why it's very hard for them to to play versus us.
How confident are you that we'll be seeing you in the grand finals?
It will be just the same. We'll just smash all our opponents every game, and yeah.
Sounds like you think we'll be talking to you guys soon again, huh?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Very confident. I like it. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. We'll send it back to you guys.
Extraordinary confidence out of VP. Love that. They can't deal with our aggressive play.
Player with some gut. Everyone gets up there and goes, "Oh,
He seems really sure."
Yeah, we just did our best, and our opponents played great too. But I'm just happy we won."
I love that. No, we're gonna smash them. We're just gonna break through them again and again like it's nothing. Snap them like twigs.
I don't know though. Like the Chinese play slow. I don't
know if that's true. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like the Chinese actually play really fast. But like if you're picking Ogre, Sanking, Shen, like that's why I'm looking at their lineup and I'm like, oh, how are they gonna do this? Like you have to play so fast, and that's why they they pop so many smokes. So like I wish them good luck versus LFY. But
I feel like
that draft, I don't know.
Yeah,
but they're playing so well. So
are you referring to things like the fact that Ogre in late game just kind of sits there and is like, "Good luck, you're bloodlusted. Good luck, you're bloodlusted. I'm gonna chill back here, guys. Good luck to everyone." Doesn't scale as well.
It's kind of that way. Yeah, I mean, I think you probably played some Ogre, right?
Yeah, Ogre's whatever. I think Casey was trying to get at Lil and was asking him, you play this like aggressive 4 and you roam all the time and you find these kills, and they go, "Oh, what makes you, why do you like playing like that?" I think he just likes to win, right? Like he likes to play fast, he likes to roam, he likes to, that's what he's good at, and VP's done a great job at that, and they've won a lot of games because of his presence on the map.
Yeah, I want to come back to something that Ake said in an earlier segment, that this tournament is really about position 4. Position 4 typically tends to be the player that is roaming around, not fixed to a lane, not staying there trying to get last hits, is instead trying to capitalize on opponents being out of position and pick them off. And Pycat, what's your thoughts on the story of this tournament is the position 4?
Yeah, we also talked a bit about that during group stage. I think Blitz said the same thing, and we all were kind of in agreement that position 4, like Dota has become... Like it has evolved so much to the point where early game is so important nowadays, because teams are they're really good at not letting go of advantages. So when you get this position 4 player who can kind of get you ahead in the game, it's so crucial. You can kind of you can keep that advantage nowadays.
Yeah, it gives you options.
Yeah, and so in the past it was a lot on core players, but now we see this position 4 player, and maybe to some extent the 3, but the supports, mainly the 4. They kind of create your early game, or that's what you want them to do. And I mean, Lil is one of those type of players who does stuff like that.
And at this point, if we take a look at the brackets, we now see that up in winners, it's IG versus Newbie, 2 teams that were an absolute treat to watch yesterday. And here we also see today LFY and VP advancing through. I mean, Chinese Dota is on fire right now. All their players are doing so well. Only VP, the single non-Chinese team, in the winners semis. And of course, coming up next is a matchup we've been so pumped for. It's going to be Team Secret versus Team Liquid. And of course, the captains used to be on the same team. Coming out first, it's going to be Team Liquid.